Hello, my third graders. Welcome to your online art class. We are going to be doing a project using chalk pastel. So you guys all got a baggie of these colors right here. So those are your chalk pastels. They do stain your clothing. So get on, before you start using the material, get on a top, a t-shirt that you don't care if it gets a little messy. Make sure that your sleeves are rolled up. Have a newspaper underneath you to catch any of the chalk particles that come off of this. And then I'll give you a quick tip at the end to tell you how to make it so that your artwork's not shedding all over the place with the particles of the dust. One other important thing to remember is that we don't blow any of the chalk up into the air. You don't want to get this all over your house. Even in the art room, I wouldn't have wanted you to get it all over there. And plus, when you get it in the air, you're going to be breathing it in, and it's not going to hurt you, but it's not something that's going to be super comfortable to breathe in or get into your eyes. So we're going to be doing a mountainscape. So a mountainscape is like a landscape, except for you're using mountains. So we're going to be doing that using the chalk pastels with warm and cool color variations, and hopefully you enjoy it. This is going to be a 2 to 3 class session, so do a little bit each time that you have your art day or whatever is designated from your teacher for what to do that day. So the first part is really just drawing the mountain and getting it into place, and then maybe coloring in 1 or 2 mountains. That would technically be one art class that we'd get through, because you'd have to listen to me and watch my demonstration, whereas right now you're going to be watching me and then also doing it along with me as I go from start to finish with the project. So at the end, if you reach day 3 and it's all completely done and you have nothing to work on, I would encourage you that instead of not doing something, that you maybe go on YouTube and learn how to draw something new that you haven't learned how to do before, or maybe you draw something for the art show that hopefully that if we have, when we come back, we can have a day where parents are allowed to come in and we can line the hallway with some of your artwork that maybe you've done at home. So without further ado, I'm going to reposition you guys. Hopefully you guys will be able to follow along with me. All right, so on your paper, you're going to be starting with a pencil. So we're going to do a couple of rolling hills. So starting at the very edge of your paper, you're going to roll, and then maybe we do another roll that starts at a different spot. So it's okay to have this extra line that connects 2 rolling hills together. Then we're going to do at least 3 mountain peaks. So the mountain peak does not have to start on the page. It can start off the page. So maybe it comes up a little bit here and then it comes down. So this part of the mountain you don't see because it's not in your view. Then another one, they don't necessarily have to start next to each other. Like my next one doesn't have to start right here. I can start one that's behind it, and maybe it goes a little taller and off the page. And then maybe this one's even behind that one, but it's a little further away and smaller. So if you've ever been to the top of any mountain and looked out, you can see a variety of heights and between the heights and distances that, yes, they do look smaller as they get further behind, as they get further towards the horizon line, which is as far as your eye can see is your horizon line. And then there are also different heights within the same plane. So if this line right here is one plane and both of these mountains fall in the same plane, they're going to be right next to each other or connected to each other, but they would be different heights. But now, if you can see, because this one overlaps this one, this is on a different plane, so it's a little, it's going to be further back. All right, anyway, so this is the start. If you would like to also add I'll do 2 of them with this and 2 of them without. If you'd like to add some snow caps to them, just like a wavy line. I don't know if you guys can see that super well. You can do that. So I'll show 2 with and 2 without. And then if you'd like to do a river remember that as things are further back, you see less of it. So my river would start back here or wherever you want to start, and it would come down like this, so like that. And then it would be small, almost up to a point, if not at a point, and then slowly get wider as you come towards it, like that. Makes sense? All right, so here we are. We're going to start with the mountains. So you are going to need your dark blue, your green, I don't know if you can even see that with the lighting, and your purple. Okay, the last 4 colors you're not using right now. One thing that you have to think about before we start this is which direction your sun is going to be coming in. So pretend that my scissors here are your sun. Is your sun going to be on this side of your paper, or is your sun going to be on this side of your paper? You have to decide. I want to have my sun over here just because you can see it better when I'm working. So if my sun's over here, which color is going to be closest to the sun with how light or dark something is? If you think about the rainbow, that kind of goes along with light to dark. So green, then blue, then purple, right? So your green, most of your green is going, and so what we're working towards is learning how to color blend using chalk pastel. We've used oil pastels in the past, but chalk pastels are a little different. So your blue is going to be more on this side of the mountain. Your green is going to be more on this side of the mountain, your blue is going to be more in the middle, and then your purple is going to be on the opposite side away from the sun because less sun is hitting it. Okay? So we're just doing the mountains for right now. So we're going to start with green. So you start by drawing an outline like that. We want to have a nice crisp edge. If you have peaks, you have to be careful not to get the color within them. So then we're going to take it, and as you come down towards the base, you're going to spread that color out. Like that. Keep it nice and loose. Don't do anything with it yet. Then we're going to take the blue. We're going to, if you have a peak, do the outline part of where that's going to be. You're going to blend into the green halfway. So halfway is like here on it. So we're going to do out and halfway. It's okay if you leave some white spaces with here because we're going to be doing some blending with our fingers. But make sure you do get into some of that green. You don't want it to be just green, just blue, just purple. You want to do a blending of them. So now we're on the opposite side, or on the back side of the mountain. So we have to make sure we've got that nice crisp edge like that. If you have the snow cap at the top, make sure you outline that. And then we're going to blend halfway into the blue now. So be careful that you don't go out of the line. Some of your chalk will be like the particles. You can see my particles are kind of collecting over here. But try not to color outside. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a finger. Doesn't matter which finger, but look, one hand is clean, one hand is dirty. Try to keep one clean always. You don't want to have fingerprints ever. All over the place. Anyway, so I like to blend with my ring finger. I don't know why. It's just more comfortable for me. You do what you want to do. So I always start, again, with my edges so that my edges stay crisp. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend back one way and back down the other. So I'm going back and forth, not over blending because we want to still see all of those colors, but enough so that we fill in the white spaces. Now, you can see here in my blue that I didn't add enough chalk there, so I can either leave it as it is because it kind of looks cool to have some highlights, or add a little bit more chalk over those areas and just blend up the middle. But again, you don't want to over blend it. We don't want it to become one solid color. We want to be able to see the separate colors together. So here's where your newspaper definitely comes in to help. And because this is my art room and my art tables, I really don't care. But your parents will care if you get it all over their tables. So you're going to take it, you're going to flip it on its side, on its edge, like that, and you're going to tap it down towards the ground, not upside down towards the sky, because this is going to be the warm colors. Right now we're working with cool colors, the purple, blue, and green. The warm colors are red, yellow, and orange, and you don't want to get all this up in the sky. So always blend downward like that. Okay, so that's one. You're going to do this to every single mountain that you've got, okay? So now that you've seen me do one of them, you can either watch me do the rest of them or just the next one, or you can do it along with me, okay? So I'm just going to talk you through it as you go. You can fast forward this part, pause me, and then, or pause me and then, fast forward to the next portion of this, or you just do it along with me and listen to me talking you through. So again, crisp edge with the green, outline part of the snow cap if you have it, and then get wider with your color as you come down to the bottom. It's not necessary to fill in every single white space, but you saw what happened with my blue the last time if I didn't add enough. So you kind of make that choice. Then I'm going to go with the blue, outline the peak if you have it, blend into the green, halfway into the green, and then halfway into that white space. And then we're going to use the purple, outlining, nice crisp edge. Fill it in, don't go outside the lines, and halfway into that blue space. And then again, with whatever finger is comfortable, go down one side of the mountain, down the other side of the mountain, just so we can keep that nice crisp edge. And then you're gonna rock it and blend back to forth. Back and forth, not back to forth. Don't overblend when you're done with that one mountain, just so that we don't have extra, a lot of extra stuff lying around. Tap it out. Be careful when you tap it that you're not grabbing it like I just did right here in the sky. So you see how now I've got my paw print on there. All right, so now I'm going to do my next one. Outline the edge. I have a cut on my thumb. I don't want to get stuff in. So if you've got cuts on your thumbs, make sure you have a Band-Aid. It's not going to hurt your body if it gets into there, but it won't be comfortable. So getting wider as we go down. Take your time. I'm going quickly because I don't want this to be a crazy long video. And I've also done this many, many times. I want you to take your time, do your best, whatever that means for you. Not someone else's best. So with the blue, blending into the green, and then halfway through that white space. And then outline with the other side with the purple. And blending halfway into the blue. And we'll blend back and down the sides. Make the crisp edge and then blend those colors together. Don't forget, don't grab it where it's gonna get your sky all dirty. Tap downward. And if you've got, if you don't have any mountains left to do, you'll have to wait for me to do the last one, or if you have more, get it done. It's one of my favorite mediums to use, but it is so messy. And I'm not going to end up having any purple in this one because the purple would be on the opposite side of my mountain, which is on the which is off the page. So blend up the side, blend together, tap down. All right. So we're still not done with these colors yet. We're going to be doing the ground now. So the ground is going to be much like how we did the mountains. However, we're going to be working dark closest to the mountains and then lighter away from the mountains. Because again, if this is my sun is going, or the mountains are going to block most of the light of where my sun is if my sun is behind the mountain. So it's going to cast a shadow here, and then it's going to get lighter as you come out. So we're going to start with our purple, and we're going to do that outline of the rolling hills, both rolling hills, like that. You're going to fill in this space. Now, if you have an overlap part like this part right here, what I want you to do before you do anything else is to get some of that blue just to divide the space up, just in that little corner like that. You see how I did that? You can blend that right away and then continue on after. So if you have a river, outline part of the river where that would go, where the purple would go, I mean, and then fill in your space. A little over a third of the way down. So if you thought about this as thirds, we have 3 colors to work with, right? So that's 1/3 is one color, 2/3 is another color, and the last third is the last color. But because we're blending into each other, we need to go a little bit past where that division mark would be. So this is 1 section, 2 section, 3 section. So we're going to go a little bit past each section. So quiet without you guys here. I'd be listening to some music when I'm doing this, but it's hard to teach and listen to music at the same time. Hopefully you guys get to listen to something. All right, so now I'm doing the blue. So I'm going to overlap within the purple, and don't blend anything else yet. Come down to the green space. Outline where the river will be if you have a river. Again, you didn't need one, so if you don't have one, just ignore the river part. All right, and then the green, outline the river. Oops. Halfway into the blue. Oh my goodness. Becoming even messier than what I thought because I keep catching the edge of my paper. Careful you don't catch the edge of your paper. All right, so we've got that all filled in. Now we're going to do the outline of the mountains, of the rolling hills with our finger along the mountain bottom, and then you're going to blend down towards the ground. Again, don't over blend. Be careful when you get to the river that you don't get into that space. See what I mean, how it gets messy? Make sure you've got something underneath your work. All right, and then like before, grab where you've already got color so you don't get your paw prints everywhere. Tap it out. If you've got a bunch of particles of the dust in front of you, you can wipe it towards your pile, or if you've got it on, if you're on a newspaper, kind of lift up your newspaper so it all goes towards the edge. All right, now we're going to be working with you may not end up with a clean hand. You know, this was supposed to be my clean hand, so if you have a paper towel, or just wash your hands in between before you get to the warm colors. So now we're going to finish off our river. If you've got the river, so you're going to do dark blue at the very edge, and come down like that. Then we're going to take our light blue, and we're going to blend into that space of the dark blue and then finish off the rest of the space of the river. Like that, and then go from dark and pull into the light. All right, so that's your land. So this might be day 1.5 or day up to day 2 for you, and then the sky will be day 3. Or if you decided to do it all at once, you can do it all at once. All right, so last part of the project is your sky. So remember how we said that this side over here where my scissors are is where the sun would be. So if we're using the warm colors, which are these guys, which one is lightest and closest to the sun? Or that would show it would be closest to the sun. That would be yellow, right? And then we'd work from yellow to orange to red. Hi, Mr. Mitchell. So we are going to start with the yellow. And again, we're going to remember that we have to be careful of your peaks of your mountain. So I'm going to outline like that. So remember, we're working in thirds, so we have 3 colors. So it's 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So we have to think about our paper as thirds. So there's 1/3 up to about here, 2/3 will end up about here, and then 3/3 would be down over here. So we're going to be blending a little bit past into that second third area, which means I'd have to outline a little bit of this as well. Be careful with where you're holding things too. You don't want to get all of your purple. Now see, this is where the clean hand comes into part. So see how I've got all my fingertips of green there. Try to not get that in there. You can only blend that out to a certain point. All right, so there's my yellow. Then I'm going to do my orange. I'm going to blend some of that orange into the yellow. Trying to keep it out of the peaks. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the peaks. Well, we're going to have to go back and do that. And then just a little bit of the orange over here just so we can blend the red with it. And then we'll finish off with the red. All right, and then we're going to blend, so be careful about your mountains that you don't want to get this red color into it. So remember how before I had you tap out towards the earth. Well, right now we're working on the sky, so which direction should we tap out? Towards the sky. So it's going to be upside down when we do the tap out part, okay? So we're just blending in, try not to get it within the mountains, and then take it, flip it upside down, and tap it out like that. Pretty cool. All right, so if you had the peaks, all you do is add your light blue at the bottom of each of those peaks. And then make sure you have a finger that doesn't have any of the warm colors in there, and just kind of blend up. So you're going to still have a little bit of a white top, but the bottom is a darker shade of the light blue. And then you're going to tap it down towards the ground like that. Alrighty. So I don't want to touch my camera, but I'll go like this for you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed the lesson, and oh, this feels weird. Hopefully you enjoyed the lesson, and hopefully you can send me a picture of your finished product, and if you want to wait until you see me again, that's fine too. But I'd really, really like to see it. That's what I miss the most about teaching you guys, is seeing your progress and seeing where you've gone. So elacourse@kearsarge.org, or you can go to our webpage at the school and find my email from there. Just shoot me an email and say, hey, what's up, this is what I've been working on. And again, if you finished early, great, and you can work on other projects, tutorials on YouTube of how to draw whatever, or work towards something that you want to add for the art gallery. Anyway, stay safe, be well, have fun, go outside and play. See you when you get back. Bye.